Now that so many people have a GPS, signs are not as important as they once were. All you have to do is listen, and that nameless person will say, "Take the third exit in the roundabout," and you do it. But they're not always 100% accurate. You have discovered that. A couple of weeks ago, I was looking for a place on 28 way down in Dennis, and my nameless friend told me that my destination is on the left. I looked, and there was nothing on the left. But I searched around and found a sign, a big sign that announced where this particular location was. So signs are still important. Beyond the physical signs, sometimes signs are more subtle, where the weather person reads the signs of what's happening to tell us what's in the future. Or on Sunday morning, you can look at all sorts of talking heads telling us what the signs are in the political world, what's going to happen or what's not going to happen. So signs, in one sense, tell us where we are, in another sense, tell us where we're going. And the scriptures we just heard are all about signs, at least the first reading and the gospel reading. In the gospel, John's in prison, and he has some doubt as to whether Jesus is the Messiah or not. He was preaching about the one that was to come, the one whose sandals he was not worthy to unstrap, but he must not have been quite sure. So he sends some of his disciples to prison, and they talk with John. They go from prison to Jesus, and they talk to Jesus and say, "Are you the one that's coming or not?" And he doesn't directly say yes or no. He says, "Tell John what you see, that the blind are given their sight, the deaf now hear, and the good news is preached to the poor." Almost verbatim from the first reading, from Isaiah. And Isaiah said, "When these things happen, you will know that the Messiah is here." And that's the connection of the two readings. But like some signs, they might be somewhat contradictory when you're told to go this way and that way. For John's doubt, you and I might question, anyways, why we live in this messianic age. The Messiah has come, and yet we still have so many issues, that life is so unfair at times, that why do we say there is so much suffering in the world? Why is there a large gap between rich and poor? Why do people have to die? Why is my family so dysfunctional? Good questions all, but as is often the case, the answer is not black or white, but more of a shade of gray. Yes, we do live in the Messianic age, but as Paul said in the second reading, we are patiently awaiting the second coming, the culmination of time, when the problem of evil will ultimately be solved. Some talk about living in the already and not yet at the same time. We do believe that Christ has already come, and yet we believe he is to come again. And we are in this in-between condition. A preacher was once asked what his favorite scriptural verse was, and without hesitation he said, "Oh, it's simple. And it came to pass." The questioner didn't quite grasp that, saying that that's not even a full verse. And the preacher said, "Yes, but any time that I'm in difficulty, any time that my life seems to be thrown up all over the place, I remember that passage, and it came to pass." Meaning in his head that this difficulty will pass. And at the same time, he said, if I am enjoying great success and everything is going right, I remember the verse, and it came to pass that this too is temporary. And in the overall picture, as Christians celebrating this Advent season, we really do say in a way that Advent is about that phrase, and it came to pass. Christ has indeed come, but Christ will come again.